Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, we are here and we are back. You hear me? It's another episode in this Jonathan Major saga, a whole nother episode in this Jonathan Major saga. So, Insider has placed another report. This report came out yesterday on June 26th. Basically, let me see if I can share my screen. All right. We're sharing this. We're talking about Jonathan Majors in this article that just came out yesterday. But before we even get into that, before we even get into this, would you please like this video? Share it if you care. Tell your neighbor, your co-workers, your family. You could even tell their husband you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos, child. And once you subscribe to my channel, you'll be open to a plethora of movies and television series that I have reviews, and also my pop culture chats. This is considered to be a pop culture chat. And so we will get into this. Let's get into this article really quick. I don't want to keep you all very long because I love y'all. I know y'all got stuff to do. I know y'all got stuff to do. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Here we go. All right. Jonathan Majors files cross complaint against his assault accuser. NYPD finds probable cause for arrest, sources say. This is again written by Lori Italiano. I want you all to be able to see it. She's also the person that wrote this one right here, this article as well. And it's coming from the Insider. Apparently, Jonathan Majors' crew has tapped the Insider for all of their exclusive content. That's what it seems like to me. All right. Are we ready? Here we go. All right. The bullet points is basically that the Insider has obtained the NYPD complaint Jonathan Majors filed against accuser Grace Jabari. Majors swore in an affidavit that a drunk and hysterical Jabari slapped and scratched him on the night they fought. Police found probable cause for an arrest, but the case was put on hold by prosecutors. Sources tell the Insider. We're going to go over that really quick. We're going to read this. We're going to go really quick with this article. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Let's see. You see, I'm trying, y'all. All right. It says, let's see if I can do the big media screen over here. All right. It says, Marvel's Jonathan Majors has filed an NYPD domestic violence complaint against his assault accuser and ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari, in which he alleges that she attacked him, not the other way around, during that March 25th dispute on the Chinatown street corner. So now we're getting much more information. You know how information is trickling in on this case. So we're getting a lot more information. We're getting a lot more information showing that they were in Chinatown when all this happened. So, according to the article, Jonathan Majors filed this the day after his June 20th court appearance. Apparently, I'm making the assumption that they assumed that the charges would be dropped, and the charges were not dropped. So they dropped the dismissal, asking the judge to dismissal. They asked for a speedy trial. They're getting their trial August 3rd. And the day after, he went into the police and he filed a report. Interesting enough, I'm not understanding if this is how it's happened. Why did you not file this report earlier? But anyway, excuse me. It says, but on the June 21st, the day after the last court date, which I just told you, he walked into a Chinatown precinct. So he walked into the precinct in the area in which the assault happened. and gave police his own version of what actually happened that night, alleging that a drunk and hysterical Jabari scratched, slapped, and grabbed at his face, causing pain and bleeding, according to a domestic violence incident report and sworn affidavit obtained by Insider. Now, I think it was a couple videos ago we had talked about this in regards to the charges. Because you remember when they went into that May 9th court hearing, the strangulation charges were dropped and new charges were put forth. And so the word pain, substantial pain, was considered very important in levying the charge. So I see that he's using that same word, causing pain and bleeding, according to what he's saying. A second New York precinct, the one that covers Major's penthouse address in the Chelsea neighborhood, is also involved in investigating the actor's counterclaim against Jabari. So you've got one precinct investigating Jabari's charged against Majors, and then you have Majors going into the Chinatown precinct, filing a report on what happened in Chinatown on the street. It says here both precincts found probable cause to arrest Jabari and issue what is called an incident card, or I-card, which is an electronic document that directs police to take Jabari into custody and at the least question her about what's happening. Now, that's interesting within itself, but like I said, when they go in and they swear affidavits in the domestic violence case, someone has to be arrested or someone has to have an arrest warrant put on them. And so they did that to her. But from what my understanding is, and this is alleged, that she is no longer in the country, she is someplace else, but I don't know that for sure. But I do know that she is from England, so she may have gone home to her family. Let's continue. But Manhattan prosecutors who were pursuing the case against Majors were for some reason reluctant to turn the tables on Jabari, and at the district attorney's office urging the I-card was deactivated. So at the district attorney's urging, the I-card was deactivated. Miss Italiano has a way with words. I don't know what that is. I don't know. She doesn't sound like she has too much confidence in the, I don't want to say confidence. It's something about the way she said that. Were for some reasons reluctant to turn the tables on Jabari. Turn the tables? Like, why couldn't she have just said, they were reluctant to prosecute? Well, they're reluctant to prosecute because they have their information, and the information in the case that they have against Jonathan Majors, they believe is a strong case. So of course they're not going to do. She's their witness. She's their only witness. She is their main witness to what happened. She's not the only witness, but she is the main witness to what happened. The DA's office has repeatedly pushed back against investigating or charging Jabari, despite supporting evidence that includes surveillance camera footage of the street dispute and photos of Major's injuries. And also, nobody was able to comment, not the victim, not the police, and not the prosecution. They were not available for comment. So, let's get down here really quickly. In his domestic incident report, Majors alleges that Jabari had attacked him on prior occasions. Now, you said that. You have just established that you all be tussling. So you just established that you all fight. All right? Though none were reported, including a verbal dispute in London that became physical. So now you all are out of the country. Tussling. You've established this in your affidavit, all right? NYPD detectives also asked Majors, who has a 10-year-old daughter from a past marriage. That's new information. We did not know that Jonathan Majors had been married at one point. This is new information. a series of yes or no questions in the prior history section of the domestic violence incident. So the police checked yes.
On the web for a series of yes or no questions in the prior history section of the domestic violence incident. Check it out.
Child, when you don't talk to Siri, Siri talks to you when she wants to. And we're not going to have this. Now, let's get back to it. NYPD detectives also asked Majors, who has a 10-year-old daughter from a past marriage, a series of yes/no questions in the prior history section of the domestic incident report. Police checked the yes box next to these questions. Is suspect capable of killing your children? Yes. Is suspect capable of killing? Oh, excuse me, I've read that twice. Is suspect violently and consistently jealous of you? Yes. And has the physical violence increased in frequency or severity over the past 6 months? Answered yes. Majors has denied causing any of the injuries that he was arrested for. And has insisted through his lawyer that he was not violent to Jabari, who he alleges became violent while accusing him of getting texts from another woman. On the incident report, Majors says he did pull away from Jabari as she grabbed for his face, coat, and phone. At another point, he admits that when their fight spilled out into traffic, he hoisted her back into their chauffeured black Cadillac Escalade. So now you're talking about that you've touched her, which wasn't reported in the letter that your attorney had filed back on, was it May 8th, the May 8th letter? I was worried she would be hurt by traffic, so I physically picked her up and put her in the car, the incident reports. I'm wondering how that looked. So there's surveillance cameras out there, so we're going to see how that looked. Majors described his own injuries in detail. In the morning, my face was stuck to the pillow because of the blood from the cut that Jabari dug with her thumbnail into his face. He additionally accused Jabari of running up his credit cards without his authorization, returning to London with his iPhone, a Rolex vintage watch, and other luxury items that cost $6,000 to $7,000, according to the incident report. And then it just goes on talking about what he lost and all this other stuff and what he does. All right. Let me just kind of go over a couple of things that stood out to me on this one. Number one, didn't know he was previously married, and we wouldn't have known because, like I said, he is notoriously. Let me get my camera right, Joe. He is notoriously private. He's been notoriously private up until he started dating Megan Good, and now you see them everywhere and around the world. He's notoriously private, and that is his right to be. But these questions that they ask, is the suspect capable of killing you or your children? And you check yes. At what point did you understand or believe that? That's what's interesting to me. At what point? Because let's think about it and just kind of get a little timeline. I'll probably do another timeline. So that means that you all, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, probably started filming about 2021 into 2022, possibly somewhere around in there. So this is where they're saying that you all met. So let's say that you all have been in a relationship for a year, and you've also checked to say that physical violence increased in frequency and severity over the past 6 months. For at least 6 months, you all have been in this relationship where there have been, you all have been verbally nasty to each other, and there has been physical violence, as what you have checked. Is suspect violently and constantly jealous of you? You check yes. Those are the and I believe that those are standard questions that they have on this affidavit, but it's just interesting to see. The other thing that's interesting, and we are going to wrap this up because I don't want this to be too long, is that they talked about the things that were stolen. Now, this is allegedly to me, I'm just speculating, but it seems like to me, you're talking about an iPhone, a Rolex vintage watch, and other luxury items. Did you purchase these things for this lady and she believes that they're hers? Or were they your watches and phones? Did you purchase a phone for her? What is going, I mean, I'm confused about why somebody would then just up and take some things unless those things were purchased for her. Now, I do understand that people thieve, and I'm not trying to explain or say that I know these people, but these are interesting things that are in this this affidavit. But that's the end of it. What y'all think? Put your comments down below. This is getting to be quite interesting. There is going to be a lot of meat and potatoes in this trial. I doubt that it will be televised, but it would be nice to have a very competent court reporter reporting the information as it comes out from the court. I don't know if you all were following Megan Cuniff from the Tory Lanez trial, and I believe that she's just based in Los Angeles, but it would have been nice if she would have been there or someone of her caliber to go in. I don't know about TMZ, the Insider, Variety, any of those publications that have Deadline, Page Six. I don't know about any of those publications if they're going to be going in or doing anything like that. Particularly, I don't know if those particular outlets are going to be doing it, but that there are going to be outlets there because Jonathan Majors is a high-profile person. Excuse me, y'all. This will be a high-profile case. So tell me what y'all are thinking. With all the information, I will try to link all the articles that I have in the description box. I will try to do that. And so that you all can peruse the articles for yourself and then let me know in the comments what you're thinking. All right, people, we do this every week. And as always, bye-bye.